Hi, I'm Scotty from Ogden Contracting, and today we're going to talk about SWOT analysis. What is a SWOT analysis and how do we apply it in the construction industry? So the objective of a SWOT analysis is to take any decision that you're going to make or any challenges that you're up against and look at it from a broader perspective. Most people look at a challenge or an objective as this is the only one solution we're looking at, but this way allows you to look at the negative and positive factors, as well as the internal, which is what you can control, and the external, which is what you can't control. It allows you to analyze every quadrant to see the entire picture. I've been running my construction company for over 20 years, and I didn't have any business knowledge or any background experience in running a company. And I strongly encourage you to learn how to run a business properly, learn what a SWOT analysis is, and how to apply it to your everyday. I learned the SWOT analysis from Breakthrough Academy, one of the greatest tools I've ever learned in business when it comes to analyzing whether it be a problem that we're up against, or whether it be a challenge that we're coming up against, or just a decision that we want to present to the owner. So why is it called a SWOT analysis? Well, you're analyzing a decision. So the S stands for strengths, W is weakness, O is opportunity, and the T is for threats. Now the strength is a positive internal factor, and then the weakness is a negative internal factor, and then opportunities is a positive external factor, and threats is a negative external factor. The internal factor is like your company. Are you strong in one area or are you weak in another? So these are some of the things you need to analyze. Do you know you have knowledge in this aspect, or do you lack knowledge in this aspect? Do you have the staff support, the number of people doing the job on this side, on your strength side, or are you lacking the staff on the weakness side? So these things might include the level of experience or education, the quality of the work, the company values, the consumer service, the current processes that you have in place, the financial processes and the organization, the communication and the skills, your turnaround, and just your employee onboarding. And your external factors include opportunities and threats. If you're a business owner, you actually know your strengths and weaknesses within your own team. The real experience in this SWOT analysis are your opportunities and your threats. So I like to talk about opportunities. So opportunities are kind of like a helpful external factor. So while you have the wall apart, maybe you want to add a new window or change out some rod or add a plug, or maybe you have the opportunity to expand the house, make it bigger. So you got to think about those opportunities. When it comes to threats, when you're doing a renovation, is the roof going to be off during that time? Are you going to have rain coming in, or freezing? Those are kind of the threats. So these are some of the things you need to really focus on. If you're digging a trench, is there a threat that the bank is going to cave in, or is it that you're going to hit blue clay? So there's things that you really need to think about on the external end of things, a good case scenario and a bad case scenario. Some of the best ways to really look at a SWOT analysis is with a big whiteboard and your entire team of leadership team or your staff with you, so that you can write down weaknesses, threats, opportunities, strengths, and you've got it all there, and you can start writing out what, fill in the blanks so we can look at it. We can all analyze it. We all have input. So first of all, what I do is I draw just a simple graph like this. And this is your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. This is what's going to help you, and this is not helpful. This is internal, and this is external. Some questions that you might have. Let's take it for instance that you're going to do a kitchen renovation for a homeowner. Well, what are your strengths? Well, you have your XP. You're very experienced at what you're doing. You're very organized at what you're doing. What are your weaknesses? Well, you're busy. Some of your staff might need training. What are your opportunities during this renovation? Well, your opportunities will be to do everything new or remove a wall, or maybe your opportunity might be to add a window. What are your threats? Your threats could be you've got some rot issues. Or another threat would be that the floor has been glued down. It's going to take longer to do the reno. So it's like longer due to unforeseen items. So this is what you kind of look at. And now, instead of looking at, okay, well, can you do the kitchen? Yeah, we can, but we need to train our guys or we're too busy. But you also now look at your opportunities. What can we do while we're doing the kitchen renovation? Because this is where you can really shine as a contractor. And you got to look at your threats because your owners need to know, well, what are they up against? If you were to show your owner from the start that, hey, if we hit rot, and you tell them that there's a problem, we might hit rot, now you showed them that there's going to be a rot issue. And when we come to that rot issue, now the owners know that that was a threat that we might have predicted and it did come true. And if it doesn't, now they're happy. So this is how analyzing the threats helps. And you're not going to get it all perfect the first time, but if you do this every single time, by your 8th, 9th kitchen, you're going to have all these things dialed in perfectly. You know exactly what your strengths, what your weaknesses are, how your opportunities are, and how you can add stuff. And you're going to know all the threats. This list of threats is probably going to get longer because you're always up against something new on every single job. But if you can be proactive and start thinking about this as a bigger picture, you're going to have more success in your job sites. Thanks for watching, and feel free to send me a message if this helps you out and you got any questions, and feel free to subscribe and click the link below.